Hey everybody, how's it going? Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel. And finally, Dallas Cowboys OTAs have begun, and we got some Dallas Cowboys stuff to talk about. Finally, we don't have to worry about having these hypothetical talks. It's about what is ongoing in the present. So, with that, before we begin this video, if you guys could do me a favor and like the video, it doesn't take too long to do. And on top of that, by hitting the like button, it helps you perform better in YouTube's algorithm, so that would be greatly appreciated. Next, if you are not subscribed to this channel, in which 77% of you guys watching are not, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on new Dallas Cowboys content when it drops in the future. Now, all that out of the way, we gotta look at what's been going on, because there are a lot of things that have been slowly matriculating with these OTAs. Some good, some bad, as you saw by the thumbnail. But to start things off, the Dallas Cowboys are experimenting with Tony Pollard in the slot with Zeke in the backfield, and we've heard the stories. Oh my God, they're going to finally do it. They're finally going to play Tony Pollard in the slot as the weapon that he can be, and they don't do it. We will see if this is the year they finally do it, but I'm not getting my hopes up. We've heard it from the sources and everything, like, oh, the Cowboys are planning on doing it, and they don't do it. According to Clarence Hill, they're talking about how apparently it's in full effect. They're experimenting with it. So if the Cowboys want to get as creative as possible, you need to bring Tony Pollard into that fold, especially considering the fact you got an injury with your wide receiver in Michael Gallup, so you're going to need a lot more creativity with your offensive game attack. So there's that. Now moving forward, your receivers in Jalen Tolbert and James Washington have had some issues with not practicing. Again, it is May, so I'm not hitting the panic button yet. So for those that are unaware, James Washington was wearing a walking boot on his left foot. We do not know the discretion of how severe the injury is, if there is one that serious. So that's something you have to monitor, because if he is out for a prolonged period of time, that can lead to guys like Simi Fehoko, Noah Brown, or these younger guys to step up and possibly move up in the roster spot. But it's something we can't afford, because with Michael Gallup being out, and he's probably not going to be back for a while, the more injuries you pile up with this receiving core is not good. So the Cowboys might be interested in acquiring a veteran wide receiver if things go haywire. Now, as for Jalen Tolbert, apparently he's been working with the rehabilitation coach or director, and with that, you see him on the resistance cords, which I'm not worried about that whatsoever. I think that when you really think about it, it's May. This isn't as big of an issue as people might say it is, but we just got to keep an eye out, because he didn't practice this go around. Okay? But that's something you don't want to see. You want to see your rookies out there practicing. But if it continues and these guys aren't practicing, then we got to say to ourselves, hey, something's up. We need to figure out what the hell's going on. But yeah, Washington and Tolbert did not practice, obviously. Now, in terms of other guys that did not practice at all, you have Tyron Smith, Michael Gallup, Jabril Cox, Rico Dowdle, Jaquan Hardy, Damone Clark, Alec Lindstrom, Carlos Watkins, Osa Odigizua, and apparently Devontae Bond also got injured. He had a right knee injury. We don't know the severity of that, but he did suffer something during the practices. So we got to keep an eye out on Devontae Bond to see what's going on there. The other guys just didn't practice. They weren't on the field. They weren't, they just didn't do their thing. So some guys we are aware of, other guys not so much, so we'll continue to monitor that particular situation. Also, good news for Marquise Bell. Apparently, he got a nice interception, and, he's one of the undrafted free agents that a lot of people have been talking about. And, when you look at what's been going on with how the team has been moving in the direction Dan Quinn's taking it, there's a lot of competition this year. So these undrafted rookies can definitely make a play, but we will see how things continue to develop. Also, Kelvin Joseph was at the practice. There is a strong possibility he will get suspended by the league. He hasn't been charged for the situation that happened on March 18th, but he's practicing. We'll see how things go, and we'll just find out, hey, is there something going to happen? Because the Cowboys still have plenty of guys that can fill in. But for what you're doing in the long term, that's not good if he gets suspended. Outside of that, you look at Tyler Smith. He was working with the second team at left guard. He was behind Connor McGovern, so I fully expect him to get to that number one spot at some point. But that's what you're seeing right now. He's working with the second team. Don't worry about it. He'll eventually get into that starting role. And with that, the Dallas Cowboys have an interesting first set of OTAs. So a lot of stuff coming out for the 24th and the 25th. And so with that, the next set, I believe, is June 2nd and 3rd. So that's going to be important. And if the Dallas Cowboys want to continue to ensure that they're putting a roster together that they believe that they can contend, that they can't afford to have any of these injuries to their young guys. Because remember, we're talking about a team that did not go into free agency and get a lot of guys. And apparently we're not done in free agency, but the Cowboys have not made any moves since the draft. So we're at that crossroads there. But outside of that, guys, that has been your OTA updates, highlights, and news. With all that out of the way, if you could like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, that would be great. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.